Hello, and welcome to the Salesforce Center podcast by MassMailer, where we connect with Salesforce experts, customers, and innovators to talk about smarter, more effective email communication within Salesforce. I'm your host, 𝗟𝗲𝗡𝗙, co-founder of MassMailer. In this episode, I'll be joined by Quinn from Senior Living Fund, a financial services organization. Quinn will outline their journey with MassMailer for Salesforce and the ways it has strengthened their approach to client communication. Let us dive right in.
We are a senior living fund, or SLF Investments. We're a private investment company focused on investing in senior housing products. So essentially, we just offer accredited investors throughout the U.S. the opportunity to invest in our products. I'm currently the chief marketing officer for the company. So my job is just to get people interested in potentially giving us some investment dollars so they can make some money in the future. Problems we were facing with email and Salesforce was initially just volume. We had about 50,000 contacts in there. We like to send a lot. Just to always remind people that we're there. So we were hitting volume limits and things of that nature. And there wasn't really a good baked-in tool. I believe we were using one of the monkeys, some monkey mailer or something.
Right.
It wasn't that great. And so it was hard to see the stats. It was hard to export contacts into certain lists and re-import them. So that's when we found you. You were natively integrated into Salesforce, which was nice for us. And that has certainly made things a lot easier in terms of sending emails. So we can send to our entire database, with a couple clicks. So what stood out about your product was just that you were baked in natively, and the fact that we could just handle so much volume doesn't ever seem to have been too much of a hiccup. We went through those IP warming phases, which you were kind enough to guide me through. Held my hand. But we have no issues since then. A couple of our IPs may have gone cold since then, or at least one of them, but we just rewarm it, and I have full faith that we'll be getting the delivery results that we've been looking for. And then your next question, results. Everything seems to be going to inboxes, so that's nice. I always have myself signed up as random contacts throughout our database, from 2017 or 2020 sign up with different emails, just to see if anything old ever, gets funneled out or anything. But no, we're continuing to be able to deliver everything out. There has been mention in the past that some of our emails go to spam inboxes, but also that I think that could have a result with just our large volume that we send out. And if people don't engage in the first couple, then they're going to start going to the promotions box and things of that nature. So I don't think it has anything to do with your tool, and more just the volume that we send when people still aren't clicking. Metrics, KPI.
I know. Just going to say that when you actually have any sort of deliverability issues between warm leads and non-warm leads, especially, not necessarily clients, right? The people who engage with you and people who do not engage with you frequently, you could actually separate them into a bucket as well.
Okay.
And that way, the engaged people, whatever reputation you are actually getting to them, you retain that, right?
Okay.
Really, basically clubbed with the non-engaged audience, right? That's another idea. If you have a way to really find out who those are, people who are engaging with you, then just put them in a separate list or separate campaign and use a different IP address and a domain for them, or keep the same IP and domain for them, but have a brand new, warmed up IP domain for non-engaged people, right?
No, that's really smart. We've been really lazy about that. So now that we've had these lists going for a while, we probably should just do a mass overhaul. I can probably run a report on who clicked anything in the last 8 months or 6 months or whatever.
Correct.
Kind of filter those out so we don't keep sending them. No, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so the metrics and KPIs, those are always a little difficult just because of Google's, they went through that 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝗁𝗁 thing, and it's always helpful to tell, what numbers are actually legitimate or not. But it appears that we're still getting decent open rates, and I always consider decent 20% plus of our current audience opening the email. Some people may find that higher or lower. Again, we never delete anybody. You could not open an email for 3 years and we'll still keep emailing you. So 20% I think is actually pretty incredible. And same thing, we can tell when we go off of hot topics or cold ones that those metrics are kind of epic and flowing. So it appears that we're tracking things. So no, KPIs are continuing to, I wouldn't necessarily improve because we're not going to get 80% of our audience to open, but they're continuing to do their job. Satisfied. Favorite thing about the product, I would say, is my ability to send an email from anybody. So when I'm going through those large campaigns and it says the from sender and you can just type anything in there, I think that's fantastic because we've only used it for our team and things of that nature. somebody without a Salesforce account or somebody else on our team, it'd just be nice to push their email for that. So I think that's great. Overall experience has been fantastic. I'd say the only recommendation that I would have that would make my life easier, literally save me 3 minutes in a day, it's not even that much time, is when we're sending, like, let's say I have an email campaign going out today. We have about 3 audience that I'll want that campaign going to. It would be fantastic to, when I'm clicking through the sending options and adding a list, to be able to add multiple lists.
Okay. So are you sending it to contacts, leads?
So leads, we have about 40,000 leads or a little under in our database right now. And I don't have them all on one audience. I have things from like most recent, 2019 forward, and 2019 and older. And a lot of times we don't want to send stuff to a really old audience, and we only want to send it to our freshest audience. But sometimes it's, you know, monthly newsletter or something. Let's send that to everybody. So I'll go through and I'll have to send 3 or 4 campaigns, which again takes not that much time. But if you could add the list, it'd be great.
Have you explored using the campaign feature?
No, and that was my fear, is I'm probably just doing something wrong.
So actually, if you go with campaign, you can add multiple lists into a campaign as campaign members.
Okay, so then you just send to that campaign rather than sending to the list?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's an option on the campaign to add campaign members. So you can select multiple list views, and then they're all added as a campaign member. That way you're limiting yourself to sending only one campaign, but multiple lists.
Boom, you solved my problem.
Yeah, I'm happy to send you that video across. It talks about all the features in campaign. It's good to know. So I'll send you 2 videos and take a look at them, and that kind of gives you an overview of how to send emails via campaign and what all features are available via MassMailer when you're using campaign.
That's great.
Wonderful, wonderful. What kind of emails are you sending? Are these prospecting emails pretty much, or you have both, like you're sending out newsletters to your existing clients and also prospecting emails? What's the business?
So yeah, the emails we send are kind of like an educational bucket. So educating people just about senior housing investments in general, since it's not the most known about topic. Then also kind of prospecting a little bit in terms of trying to poke the bear, say, hey, we also invest in senior housing, kind of flirting with our projects that we've had, mentioning our different investment offerings, tax benefits that they can have, things of that nature. So a lot of them are promotional, where I'd say maybe 30% are educational, just about the industry, kind of like our monthly newsletters.
Okay. So you're basically an investment strategy company, or what exactly you do, and who do you actually?
Yeah, so if you have an extra $1 million, Siva, and you want to park it somewhere, we have like 5 different investment funds open currently. Some of them pay monthly payments. Some of them we hold the money for 6 years while we go build senior housing communities, fill them up, sell the communities, and then return the investment dollars. So a lot of the emails are kind of explaining our various products, how they differ from each other, things of that nature. But yeah, at our core, we are just a private investment company. And we have to invest in senior housing communities.
Okay. And your target audience is basically large personal investors?
Yep. Accredited investors would be the term, which is people who have, I think $1 million net worth, excluding their primary residence, or those who make around $250K a year.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Pretty much it's. And how about the products? Those are from your partners, vendors?
They're from us. They're our investment funds. And then we partner with different developers and operators and things, just depending on the community. So if we go buy a senior housing community, we may have one of our operators run it until it's profitable. Or if we buy a parcel of land, we may work with some developers and things to go build the whole facility before we then go put operators inside.
Got it. Okay. And if you were to compare the previous solution that you had and after MassMailer, what are the main differences that you see before and after?
Volume is greater here. Ease of use is greater here. And I mean, same thing with ease of use, I guess, just not having export, import, everything being built native. It's just, your product is just overall better, I would say. Drag and drop mailing is, pretty similar, very helpful. So just the fact that you guys are all built into Salesforce, I think, is what helps us. And the emails actually hit inboxes. Which is
perfect. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, I'm going to drop you a note again after this call, like explaining about the engaged audience and non-engaged audience. But note and give it a thought, and perhaps it's actually going to boost the overall deliverability as well for the engaged audience. And slowly you can ramp up the non-engaged ones and put them in the other bucket as you see them also getting engaged the further months as well. So that's going to help you.
Yeah, hopefully. I think that's like a marketing best practice that I've
Yeah.
just been ignoring. So yeah, we'll be doing that. Hopefully we'll see some improved results.
Sure. Perfect. Yeah, it's been MassMailer has been helping your organization. Yeah, we are here to help you. Anything that you need, shoot an email.
Yeah. No, I asked our team if they had any questions for you too, because I've had them sticking on it, but they're all happy. They got nothing. So
Perfect. Yeah, happy to have you as a customer, Quinn. Always pleasure to working with you. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks so much, Siva. You have a great one.
You too. Take care. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Salesforce Ender podcast by MassMailer. We truly appreciate your time and interest. If you would like to learn more about how MassMailer can help you simplify and supercharge your email outreach in Salesforce, visit us at massmailer.io or give us a call at 1-800-297-0991 or send us an email at hello@massmailer.io. We would love to hear from you. Until next time, I'm 𝗟𝗧𝗧𝗦𝗧, and we'll meet you again in the next episode of the Salesforce Center. Take care.